In this video, I'm going to talk about how to do vibrato on the double bass. I'm going to explain some of the basic mechanics of what your arm does, what your fingers do to make vibrato work. So, vibrato is essentially, on the bass, it's a bending of the pitch, either a little bit sharp and a little bit flat, and your finger actually rolls up and down on the string, sharp and flat, to create a bending of the pitch. I'm going to grab my bow and demonstrate. So for this demonstration, I'm going to put my second finger on the B on the G string here. And I have my thumb at the back of the neck. You know, my normal hand structure. My fingers are spaced, whole step from first finger to fourth finger, and my second finger is in the middle. So I'm going to basically try to keep that structure, but I might loosen my grip a little bit just so I can rock my hand up and down on the string. And I'm bending the pitch. And I'll show a video of what that looks like close up. If I do that quickly, it sounds like vibrato. And I can do that on all of my fingers. Right, first finger, second finger, fourth finger. And I only use my third finger in thumb position, but if I did that, it's the same principle of bending of the pitch. The angle's a little different in thumb position, so that's probably good for another video. But going back to lower position, it's just the bending of the pitch. Now as I do this, watch the way my arm moves. I'm going to rotate. I keep my wrist straight when I do vibrato, and my arm has a rotating motion. Alright, some analogies I've heard people use are, it's kind of like doing a karate chop. My wrist is straight, but I'm rotating for this karate chop. My upper arm rotates from where my shoulder is. Right? You can kind of see where that motion is coming from. Another analogy I've heard people use is like you're turning a doorknob, where the rotation comes from the elbow joint, but the wrist is still straight. So both of these are pretty helpful to visualize how your arm moves when you do vibrato. If I think about a karate chop, you know, I'm still kind of getting that motion, that up and down motion from rotating my arm. If I'm thinking about turning a doorknob, it's pretty similar. It's a kind of a rotating motion, which moves my hand. If I have my hand structure kind of pretty solid, you know, I'm going to be like hitting my first finger against the fingerboard here, and then my pinky, my fourth finger, against the fingerboard here if I'm playing on my second finger. Here's another angle. And I'm exaggerating my motion so you can see. But that's what I do. That's the arm motion I do to get my finger to roll up and down on the string, sharp and flat. Sounds like a wah-wah or a lawnmower. That's what you're going for. You can start slow. And gradually get faster. Some people do this to a metronome, where you move your hand with the metronome beat, and you gradually get faster. You do 8th notes and then 16th notes and so forth. So this is quarter notes. I go twice as fast, that's 8th notes. I go twice as fast as that, that's 16th notes. It's going to take some practice doing it slow for a little bit until you got the motion down to start speeding it up. So it's going to take several days of trial and error and working at this. Those are the basics of getting a vibrato to work on the bass. And like I said, I was using my second finger. First finger is also pretty easy to get to work relative to the second finger. The fourth finger is a little bit more tricky. I often have my fourth finger and third finger down, and I have my other fingers just hovering above the string to do vibrato. You can do it with all your fingers down. It's a little bit more strict movement, but you can still get that effect. So vibrato on the fourth finger is kind of the only exception to my rule of having all my fingers down when I'm playing with fourth finger. Alright, so that's some thoughts on doing vibrato on the bass.